I'm always like trying to lose weight. I had a thing that happened that I do. It was like, I gotta get it together. I go to the trunk of my car and I take my shirt off, standing there, no shirt. And this old man walks up and goes, Olivia? I had to turn, I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? I'm sorry. And he was like, oh, sorry, honest mistake. And I was like, I don't know. He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on and thought that could be Olivia. I had a car that he does not recognize. I don't know who he disrespected more, me or Olivia, to be honest. I mean, we could both have a word with him.
All right, one of the really cool things about Big Slick, as you all know, is that we get to invite people that we know in the industry. And this next guy, I became a fan of because my girlfriend was a fan of his comedy on Jimmy Fallon, and she made me go here in Kansas City to watch stand-up, and I went and saw him and just was blown away. Then I watched his special, and then I watched everything I possibly could, and I reached out to him and said, dude, you are so hilarious. How would you like to come to an amazing charity event in Kansas City? And without hesitation, he said yes. And during the show this night at the Sprint Center, I kept going back to him and saying, you sure you're going to do okay? You sure you're going to be, you sure your jokes are good? You sure just messing with him. He proceeded to get up and tear the Sprint Center down. I've never seen a crowd rush to give a standing ovation like I did that night. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to my friend, Nate. How do you say his last name again? Nate Bargatze. Enjoy.
This next comedian we're bringing to the stage is one of the hottest comedians there is right now.
Yes,
He's got an amazing Netflix special on right now called The Tennessee Kid. His name is Nate Bargatze. He's here to perform for you right now. Give him a big Kansas City welcome.
Yes, yes. Nice. We got him. We got him.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna put this energy pretty late in the show. This is what my energy is. Dustin? Look, thank you for having me here. This is very exciting. Got to play some sports softball. Struck out, but it's just a pretty big yellow ball. And I like to play, I play a lot of sports. I like to golf. And recently I was golfing and I got done and I was very hot and gross. So I wanted to change my shirt before I drove. So I'm standing in the trunk of my car in the parking lot. I take my shirt off, and this old man walks up and he goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on. I covered up. I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. And I was like, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though. I'll tell you, I'd love to see her and be like, all right, I get it. It was an honest mistake. I don't have a good body. That's the message. It's not. You ever wear those Under Armour shirts, those skin tight ones? Like, I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. It just shows the worst parts of your body. They have like plastic surgery, how they draw markers on you? They should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see what we're gonna go after. I did. We did play softball. I did do some sports growing up. I played baseball, and when I was 13, I was playing baseball. One time I was up to bat, and I got walked. So I take my base, I get to first base, and I turned around, and the catcher was still standing there, and he was holding the ball. He's like staring at me, like he was daring me to run. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm going to go. So I ran, he threw it, over through second base, ball goes in the outfield. I run to third base, the outfield grabs the ball, they overthrow third base. My third base coach is telling me to go home. This is about to be an inside the park home run off a walk. I won't be on Sports Center. This is the biggest play that's ever happened in baseball. I slide, there's a play at the plate, and the umpire then tells us that it was only ball 3. This is exactly true. So, I've got to get up, everybody's got to get up. I got to get my bat right where I left it. I got a bat again. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch, immediately strike out. I'm exhausted and just over baseball. Here's what I learned though that day. Here's what I learned. I learned that if you're confident, you can get away with quite a bit. Because no one tried to stop me, and they should have. They knew I wasn't supposed to go. That's why the catcher was holding the ball, because he was like, I don't think he's supposed to be going yet. And then I just run to second. He's like, guess I'm wrong. No one's that dumb. And then he launches it into the outfield, who's barely paying attention. The umpire figures it out, but it's just easier to let me get back to him. No one ever told the parents either. No one ever explained it to them. And they were cheering pretty hard. It's a pretty exciting play to watch. And they just see me slide into home and just stand up and bat again. Like that's just a rule in baseball. And you know what? What's funny too? The year before, I got a legit triple off a walk. So in that moment, I'm like, this is just what I do. You know, like I was like, don't walk me. Like this is my thing. All right. I'm a pretty dumb guy. That's the general. I went to a community college for 1 year, have 0 credits. 0. My loan was like $40. I paid cash. All my classes were outside. We never went inside the building. We would meet at a picnic table outside because our teacher was like, you guys will all be working outside one day. So I've like thought about like if I could time travel, if I could go back in time knowing everything I know now, I don't think you would even hear about it. I think I would just get stuck. I don't know anything. Like I don't think I could. I think if I went back, I don't think I could prove I'm from the future. Like who's the next president? I'm like, just name someone and I'll tell you if I've heard of them or not. But I have no idea. I am married as well. It's fine, you know, you just do it. This is what marriage is. It's just one guy talking and the other's like, I'm gonna get out of here. This is not. My wife, one time we were out on the lake with some of our friends and we were floating around in the water and there was a guy in a boat right next to us, and my wife was like, oh, that's my ex-boyfriend in that boat. I didn't know who he was. She didn't have to say anything at all. She was just basically like, are you having fun? Because I would like to put a stop to that, and make you stare at this guy. So I was staring at him, and then I looked at her, and she was staring at him, and I felt like she was staring at him to see what her life would be like if she didn't marry me. So I started staring at him to see what my life would be like if I didn't marry her. I mean, we were putting so much pressure on this guy, and nothing happened. We basically just realized we don't have a boat. But my friends were like, you shouldn't try to fight him. Why didn't you go fight him? I was like, I don't know, because I would have had to swim over to that fight. I don't know how intimidating that is for a guy to see a head in a life jacket floating his way. And then I got to get in the boat. Have you ever tried to climb into a boat from water? It's not aggressive. It takes an hour if no one is in the boat. I would need his help. That's how that fight would start. Oh, thank you. Is this all right? We fight a lot, my wife and I. If we get in a fight, she'll give me the silent treatment. And the silent treatment is very common. Everybody knows what it is. And I think you're just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. You know, it's just like something that's inside of you. Here's what made me realize that. I was rewatching the movie Sixth Sense. And look, I'm not trying to do a 6 Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I mean, look how old he is now, Haley Joel Osment. It's that many years ago. That's the baby. It's 20 years old. I also have to spoil it for you, but again, it's 20 years old. So if you haven't seen it by now, then I don't know what to tell you. But think about when you saw this movie for the first time. None of us knew he was dead, too, by the way, just so you know. And if you haven't seen it, like, that's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about it. When you saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in a movie. We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. And they don't hide him dying. A guy shoots him with a gun to start the movie. And we watched it for 2 hours, just like, this is what a movie about marriage. This is what marriage is like. Even if you get shot, it's your fault. We have a daughter as well, and when my daughter was to be born, I'm from Nashville, and when she was to be born, we were living in New York, but she was not born in New York. We flew home. She was born in Tennessee. I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. So I was like, you start where we start, all right? No one gets a leg up in this family. I love having a kid. Kids have very weird energy. Like their energy is like they want to fight you. They stare at you. They stare at just strangers for so long. And you try to stare back like, I will fight you in front of everybody. And they just look through you. Like, please, I would love it if you tried. I'm a big chain guy. I go to a lot of chain things. I just like to go to businesses that are doing good everywhere. I'm a big McDonald's fan. I go there quite a bit. And I take my friends, and every time I go in there, they're like, I haven't been here in forever. It's like, don't act like I'm the one keeping them afloat, all right? They're doing real good. So I went in with a buddy of mine, another comedian named Louis J. Gomez. And me and Louis, we go in, we ordered our food at McDonald's, and we sit down at our table. And then Louis went to the bathroom. He left me alone with his food. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play a prank on him. So I grabbed his hamburger, I unwrapped it, I took a bite out of it, and I wrapped it back up and put it back on his tray. That's my big prank, right? Like when he comes back from the bathroom, I'll be like, dude, did they just eat your burger? That's crazy that they're doing that, right? Is that crazy? It's a dumb prank. It's harmless. It should never leave the table. All that should happen is Louis should come back, he should open his burger, and his first reaction should be to look at his best friend who's sitting with him, who also, by the way, dabbles in comedy, and just be like, hey, I just want to run this by you before I unexpectedly go freak out on this entire McDonald's. That's what I thought would go down. Just a little, hey, did you touch my food the only time it's out of my sight? I just want to know before I try to fight a group of people that are going to be pretty confused on why they're fighting. But instead, I got to learn I'm friends with a lunatic and a guy comfortable fighting McDonald's employees because he opened his burger and could not have ignored me quicker. He looked at them so fast, almost like he expected them to do it, like it's happened before. And he's like, again with this. I will fight all of you till I find out who ate my burger. And he gets up, he starts walking towards them. I can't believe it's working. We have gotten so much farther than I'm prepared to get. So I just grab him. I go, dude, I ate it. Like, why would you not look at me once to see if I did this? And I get him to sit down, and it's weird. Like, everybody's looking at us. It takes 10 minutes for people to quit filming us with their phones. And it hits me. I just sit there. I was like, you're gonna get killed one day, man. I was like, let's pretend I'm not here. Let's pretend that someone did eat your burger that worked at this McDonald's. You're just gonna go blindly fight him. Not even try to size him up, see what he looks like. Do you really think you could beat up a guy that is apparently pretty confident in himself, that he's making burgers, he's then eating them, and then he's wrapping them up and just sending them out to whoever? You don't think that guy's probably the greatest fighter of all time? I think you're gonna walk to the McDonald's counter and be like, who ate my burger? And all the McDonald's employees are gonna part ways. They know exactly who you're talking about. And in the very back, you see a guy cracking his neck. He's got his fist in the fryer. Doesn't even know it. Just warming his hands up. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys for letting me come out, honestly. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh! Unbelievable. Nate Bargatze, everybody. Nate Bargatze.
It's the Montreal Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. Kevin Hart presents LOL at KFM.
I don't know, I'm a pretty dumb guy. Pretty dumb. It's fine though. I don't know. So my wife and I, we met at Applebee's. And before I ever started comedy, I was a host and she was a server. And someone asked her recently, they said, hey, do you think, did you ever imagine when you started dating that your lives would become all that it's become? And she said, well, when I met him, he was a host and I didn't think he was smart enough to be a server. So, yeah, we've got a little bit farther than I expected, you know? I told her I want to be a server one day and she's like, you keep dreaming that dream, all right? I think if you try hard, you can get that menu memorized. So I'm the dreamer of our group. You know, I feel like in a marriage, you have one of you is a dreamer. You know, money's not real. Let's have fun. Let's go do fun stuff as much as we can. And the other person hates fun. And that's how you make a marriage. You can't have two dreamers. You're going to be homeless in an hour. You need someone that just walks around. Is fun happening? I'd like to put a stop to that. Are y'all having fun? Stop it. Is the air conditioner on? Turn it off. I married my dad, is who I married. My dad, who I thought air conditioning cost $100,000 a day to run it. When we would be on car rides, I thought if you turned it on, your car exploded. Like just gas, you were out. We're out immediately. Did someone turn the air conditioner on? My wife's always around, too. I feel just always like near, you know, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I do if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm gonna paint the bathroom door while you're in there. You couldn't do it later? And I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was gonna start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can track you even when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts? I'm like, look, I'm not gonna live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not gonna lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. I've done it, but I'm not gonna do it every time. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I mean, I'll be walking into the parking lot, just get a call, don't buy anything, I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm gonna come home and get that coupon? Is that what you think's about to happen? I'm gonna try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm gonna try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't ask me to round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant, and I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can. The dumbest I've ever been talked to, I like to golf. And so a guy was telling me there's a real golf course in North Carolina where they have llamas or the caddies. So if you don't know anything about golf, I mean, you know, a caddy usually carries your bag around, tells you how far you are from the hole, and helps you out. So this course, they have llamas. So you put your golf bag on a llama, and it carries your bag. So he told me that, and then he looks into my big, dumb eyes, and he goes, just so you know, llamas can't talk, though. I mean, that's the question he was trying to get ahead of as he looked into my stupid eyes. Like, he just feels like, I'm going to say it so that guy doesn't have to say it. Like, I'm just at the zoo talking to the giraffes, just, hey, where are you guys from, you know? I know where you're from, but where are you from? You know what I mean? It's great, like, to be, like, doing a show with, like, two comics that are from another country, and they know way more about my country than I even know. Like if there was like a test or something, I would be like, I don't know, like a lot of it. I would be like, I love it more than they do. So can I just write that down and everything? Just be like, love. What was the 13th president? Doesn't matter, I love him anyway. No matter what he was. Is that, if we just put that. If I tell people I was buying a hammock, is that going to come off like I'm bragging? Like, for some reason, in my head, that's just like a wealthy purchase. Like, that's a hammock at Walmart. Like, an audience would be like, whoa, all right. I didn't know we were just hearing about how good you're doing. Man, what's it like to have two trees that close together? Is it nice? I heard it looks nice. I've seen pictures. I always get home late doing comedy, and my wife will be asleep, so I'll go in, I fix something to eat, I'll watch TV, I'll be home for like an hour, then I hear my wife from the bedroom, and she'll be like, Nate, is that you? You know, you better hope to God it's me. You have let some murderer get quite comfortable in this house. He is eating. This class, I made it one day. I don't know how to fight. I didn't want to fight. I thought it was going to be like just some guy making me punch a bag. And the first day I go in there, he just pairs me up with some 16-year-old kid that wants to fight for a living and wasn't raised by human people. And they're like, why don't y'all just go at it? And I was like, I think it's so we have different goals. Maybe that's why we should not go at it. I believe he's training for the Hunger Games. You know? You know what? I'm going to go get in that mosh pit. But then once you get in it, you're like, I do not want to be in this mosh pit at all. I am going to leave and go get some beer. Then the mosh pit's like, didn't you drink last night? All right, mosh pit, why don't you get off my back and let me live my life? I rewatched the movie Six. This is what marriage feels like, what it feels like in here right now. Just one person talking, the other's like, I'm going to get out of here. I'm married, I'm still married. And thanks, yeah. I like to say it, like I'm at the same job, just like, yeah, no, still work there. Yeah, right out of high school. Only job I applied for. My wife will tell me that she always says that I don't like the way she talks. And it's not her voice. I like the sound of her voice. That'd be a big problem, I think, if it was like, it's your voice. I just hate it. Just to go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. We took a trip to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, and her and our daughter are flying from Nashville, where we live, and I'm flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? She goes, noon. And it was 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. And she said, that's what time we leave for the airport. Our flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best time you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She said, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? Like you've been around people before, We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that. She's good at not talking to me. She can go a long time. She could do her whole marriage career. Marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV. They probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. So, but I was probably going to start, and I needed to get all this stuff there. Do you ever get in those fights, like you'll be at home, like you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on the opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway? That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway. And you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, oh, excuse me, sorry, yeah, no, go ahead. She'll be watching TV, I'm like, ma'am, are you watching this? I couldn't tell, I was gonna change it if you weren't watching it. It's the silent treatment. The silent treatment is, it's a very common thing. Everybody knows what it is. I think women are just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. I don't think it's like, my mom did it and her mom. It's an instinct that's in us all, that we all just know. And here's what made me think of that. I rewatched the movie Sixth Sense. And I'm not trying to do a Sixth Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I also have to spoil it but it's 20 years old. So if you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you, and don't be like, we were going to watch it tonight. We're going to go to Blockbuster on the way home, and so he's dead the whole time, and I don't know. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty big part of it, but for those that have, think about when you watched it. When we all saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in our life, We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. And I was like, when I watched it, I was like, what do they show him dying? Yeah. That guy shoots him with a gun. That's how the movie starts. That's how obvious they're like, hey, he's dead. And we still watched it for 2 hours, just like, I know what this guy's going through, This is a movie about marriage and how hard marriage is. Yeah. Even if you get shot, it's your fault. On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently. And it's a tough thing to do, nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now. And she was very sick. That was a joke, all right? That was a joke, and she would have loved that joke, so don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker. She was a wonderful dog. We loved her, and her name was Annie. And the reason we got her was my sister worked at a vet, and people do put dogs down for no reason. So if someone brought a dog in that was fine, they just didn't want it. My sister couldn't do it, so she would walk the dog back and then just steal the dog. I don't know the laws on all that, but I'm sure now people are finding out that their dog's still alive right now. So we got Annie. Annie was getting put down. She was a hunting dog, and she was terrible at it. And she was bred to be a hunting dog, and she was just like a misfit toy that just didn't do it. She got shot once, and it's because the guy, he would be doing target practice, and then she'd just walk in front of the targets, and he would hit her, and he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, what are you doing? She had no awareness about her, the senses that dogs have. We had turkeys in our backyard once, and I let her out to go chase these turkeys, retired hunting dog, figured that's fun. And we have a very normal backyard. It's not Yellowstone Park. You can see all of it at all times. I push her out, and she just pees and then comes back in the house. Never sees the turkeys. And I'm just looking at her you didn't feel anything? Nothing was going, I sensed it as a human on the couch. I felt there was turkeys outside. You want to take just one lap around, see if... The guy used her a lot for duck hunting, so he would shoot a duck. She's supposed to run and go get it and then bring it back. So what I like to picture is he shoots the duck, she runs out, comes back, no duck. And she's like, I don't even know what we're doing. All right, I did not. A million things flew in the air when you shot that gun. And I'm supposed to know which one you hit. And the guy's just looking at her. And then she's like, you're not even the guy that I came out here with. Do you see, is there another guy out here by any chance? Our daughter would put birthday cone hats on her. And one slipped over her eye. And it was like that for 6 hours. I was just trying to see how long, how's it accidentally not coming off? And she was just going about her day, just eating, drinking, yeah, I can't see all that eye no more, all right? That's the cards I was dealt, and that's okay. And then I pulled it off of her, and she's like, oh, I didn't know you were a doctor. And I'm like, I am a doctor. Just two dumb animals talking to each other. So she had skin cancer, and she would get all these spots on her. So we kept getting them removed. But it was really starting to take a toll on her, and she was older.
So we knew the day was close. And our daughter, she's 6 now, but she was 5 at the time. This was her first pet. She was best friends with this dog. And it was the first thing that was going to die in her lifetime. So it's a lot of stuff to have to explain to a kid, you know? And so I was talking to my wife about, like, how are we going to tell her? And at first I was like, let's just act like we didn't have a dog. 5-year-olds are smart, but if we stick together on this, and she comes home from school and is like, where's the dog? And we're like, what dog? Like, I've never seen a dog. Don't you think I would know if there was a dog? But I read an article about the long-term damage of that. It's pretty good. So I was just honest with her. And I set her down. I said, look, Annie's very sick and she's older and she's going to die soon. This happens, so just love her as much as you can right now. And she took it as good as a 5-year-old can take it. So the next day, I kind of told her again, you got to tell kids over and over again. I kind of kept telling her. I didn't want this to be a surprise. And then Annie surprised us by living 6 months longer. I mean, we were way off on when we thought she was going to die. But I already started telling my daughter I didn't want to stop and then have to start it again. So I just kept it up for 6 months. Every day I was like, she'll die. All right, she will die. She will die, I will die, your mom's dead. So finally the day was here, and our daughter was at school. And so my sister and my wife, they took Annie to go have to put her to sleep. And I went to go pick up our daughter to tell her. I've already been telling her. And so I picked her up, I told her, it was brutal. Very sad. She took it as if this was the first she's heard about it. We get home, and my wife was like, how was it? Which is already a dumb, like, it was great. You know, I loved it. Can't wait for the next thing to die. Nice to say I told you so, you know. I told my wife it was terrible, you know. And then my wife goes, you didn't tell her that I did it, did you? And I was like, no, why would I say that? Like, I didn't even think about it, you know? Then I looked at her like, is that what you would have said, though? Would you have told her that I did it? You know how your dad's been talking with the dog dying? Well, he's finally had enough. All right. So we got in the fight over the phrase, one fell swoop. Just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. So my wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, you know? When you marry into the divorce, I mean, they divorced because of her, not me, so why do I have to go to 50 different houses? So she wanted to go visit her parents and shit, I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years, she's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband. And goes, perfect. Use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents. And I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, let's do it in one fell swoop. You know, let's swoop it up. I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. I mean, over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just like waited, and she didn't say anything, and I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. And instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what one fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think two birds, one stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and you know when you walk home and you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, you know? She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. I mean, that's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of sorries, just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. I mean, we're just sitting there, our daughters, like, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, you know your mom's crazy, right? And she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't want to be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife just came over, and she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it, you know? That was like, I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. And so I was like laid there, and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot, because you're like, all right. Because you learn the longer you get married, sometimes it's like, just let stuff go. You know, who cares? And the next morning I get up, and I kind of still wanted to talk about it. Because we didn't talk all night, you know? So I went into her, I was like, look, I got to tell you, I mean, it's just not what it means, you know? And that got it going real good. But I felt so good about this argument, you know. I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it back up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Our marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV that probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. The end of the night comes, everybody's drunk, children, adults, it's across the board. A fight breaks out. We hear some of y'all fight. And I mean, you're sitting there, you got a 50-50 shot. It's not your side of the family. We get over there, it's 100% our side. It's my dad's aunt and an uncle, both rolling around on the ground. They're in their late 70s. He wanted to leave, she did not. So they thought, let's just handle it in front of everybody. So we got to get him apart, and he starts fighting us. And he's a pretty good fighter, all right? He's punching women in public. You don't think he's handled some dudes in his lifetime? That ends the night. You know, you can't be like, all right, guys, let's calm. Let's cut the radio back on, find a good station. Tuesday is sadly divorced now. That did not work out. My dad's aunt and uncle, sadly, it did work out. They're still together. She wanted to get our front door refinished. I don't even know what that means. But it's a 2-year-old home, so I'm sure it was time for it. She gets all this set up, and I do not know this is happening. So the day the guys come over, they ring the doorbell, and she's gone, and I'm home alone. I opened the door, and I was like, hi. And he goes, well, we have to actually take the front door with us. He's like, oh. I've been awake for 45 seconds. And now have to decide, do I give a man I've never seen what I believe is the absolute most crucial part of our home? So I gave it to him. He took it. Yeah. I thought, I hope she wanted this. She better not come home and be like, where's the door? I do 0 working out. Not even, I mean, it's not like you're like, whoa, wow. Like it's like, yeah, we figured that. Every hotel I go to, I ask if they have a gym. I don't even have clothes that I could work out in. There's no way. I'm like, is it 24 hours? I was going to start tonight at midnight. So I was wondering if that's... What I've learned, what's easier than working out is just tell people that you used to weigh 300 pounds. That's a lot. They don't know, you know? So I've never weighed 300 pounds, but I look pretty amazing for a guy that used to weigh 300 pounds. You're like, yeah, I got tired of being tired, all right, you know? Today's my cheat day, obviously, but normally I'm pretty strict. Have you ever been to a Starbucks, like inside, like if you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, oh, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, you know, did you see how everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular, normal business, you know? And you let me do it right in front of you. If I fly Delta, if I buy a ticket through Delta's system, my name in their system is Nathan. And on my license, my name is Nathaniel. I do not remember making this decision. It's a big deal. You can't just change it. I've tried. I've asked Delta if they could change it, and they're like, we can't change it. And you're like, then I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, you know? If you can't do it, who can do it? I mean, is that why people call senators? Do they do it? I don't know. What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their children their birth certificates. I've never received mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. So I will never go through that process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets brought up. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy behind the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because, I mean, he can't handle that. He's gonna call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I honestly said. I can't believe you've made it this far. I was like, let me just try it, you know? Shouldn't I try it? I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through. So I was in Florida and we go golfing. It's very hot, humid, gross. You get kind of feeling gross. So I wanted to change shirts before I drove back. And I go to the trunk of my car and I take my shirt off, standing there, no shirt. And this old man walks up and goes, Olivia? I had to turn, I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? I'm sorry. And he was like, oh, sorry, honest mistake. And I was like, I don't know. He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on and thought that could be Olivia. I had a car that he does not recognize. None of this is making him not, he's like, I don't know, that's a dead ringer for Olivia. I don't know who he disrespected more, me or Olivia, to be honest. So she gets the syrup and she just takes it to her table. So now the syrup's gone. So I'm hearing other people go through and they're asking where the syrup's at. People are like, where's the syrup? And the hotel's like, I don't know. That's all the syrup we have was out there. I'm not trying to get involved, you know? I didn't wake up and just think, I hope I get to talk to everybody this morning. I mean, when you roll out of bed, you're not like, I hope I'm about to get in the thick of it down there. So I'm just trying to say stuff as I walk by people. I'm like, maybe someone took it to their table. Look around, maybe. You see that little girl's table over there? Maybe they have it. And no one's picking up on this, so I just have to go get it. And this girl's sitting with a bunch of her friends. And I was like, hey, can we get that syrup back? That's kind of for the entire hotel. All of them. Just blew me off. And then the father in me kicks in. I go, all right, well, just a heads up, just so you guys know. I did nothing wrong, and you guys have ruined breakfast for everybody. I don't know if you've ever eaten out in public before, but do you see me over here with a tub of eggs? Do I have all the eggs? My wife gets mad because I don't like any of her photos. She's like, why don't you like any of my photos, you know? And it's like, is this not enough, us living together and stuff? I don't... And I did like it. When we took it, I said I like it. I told you I like it. I looked at it. I'm in it. I'm in the photo. There's not much more I can do with this photo. We've been together my entire life. Since we started dating when I was like 21. I'm 37 now. And, like, I went from like my mom to her. So I don't even know what it feels like to not have some lady be like, I don't know if I would do that, you know. And now we have a daughter, so I'll never know. I'll never know. Stamps make me nervous. Because I don't know how many you're supposed to put on, where they're going to be like, you should put one more on. And they changed the price of stamps, and that's not in the news, you know. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. They keep up with it. They're like, stamps went up. You're like, okay. All right. Is it $100? Like, they're furious. They're like, is it $100 a stamp? It's 3 more pennies. So now we are basically at Mount Rainier. If you ever go, just so you know, you have to pay to go up it. It's not a free mountain. Someone bought it, and they're charging tickets. It's also all uphill. It's a nightmare. So be ready for those things. We drive up, we park, and we're walking up the trail. So we're going up it. Halfway, I mean, I can barely breathe. And this couple's coming down, so I stopped them. I was like, hey, is this enough where we're at? You know, is this like, you get it. Like, we're not trying to live on this mountain. And the lady goes, I'm 75 years old, and I did it. And I was like, all right, maybe that's why you didn't hear the question that I asked. Everybody's pretty cocky on the way down. I mean... There was women with babies. They had 3-month-old babies strapped to their chest. I was like, why would you bring that much extra weight with you? I left my wallet in the car.
I stayed at a unbelievable Airbnb this weekend, right on the Tennessee River. Beautiful view. But I get there, and there's a little note that says, hey, by the way, we have 2 cats. Feed them a can of tuna every day. I have cats. I'm like, whatever. One night, we're sitting there watching TV, and we smell something. And we're like, oh. And Connor Larson, who was with me, he gets up, he starts walking, he slips in cat, fair to call it diarrhea, all over the floor of the living room. Slips on it. We turn the lights on. It's everywhere, dude. One of these cats has just, destroyed the living room downstairs. So I messaged the Airbnb owner, and I was like, hey, dude, we tried to clean up a little bit, but it smells horrific downstairs. We can't even be downstairs right now. They sent back this long apology. They were like, we just switched flea medication. One of the side effects is diarrhea or whatever.
Also not in the email before you.
Yeah, they didn't include that for sure.
Right.
Correct Opinions with Trey Kennedy is now a part of the Nate Land Podcast Network. We appreciate that, dude. You're helping us.
No, man.
We're bringing you down.
Yeah.
That's my whole family's relying on you carrying this, Nate Land. He goes, you better, I swear to you, Trey, this better be unbelievable.
All right. Well, I hope it is. And
it is. I know.
I'm honored, man. I'm really, really excited. I've been doing this podcast for years, and it's grown and it's changed, and this is like definitely the next great step for me and for us. So I'm really pumped.
What are you talking about on it? Like
Correct Opinions. So I was born out of, I like to think I have all the right takes. So we got my co-host Jake.
You're that age that probably
right. It was very Correct Opinions, and now it's like, well, maybe I'm not that correct, but now I'm almost coming.
I know you do this podcast. You have Jake Triplett and your wife,
my wife Katie. Yep.
Correct Opinions each week on Nate Land YouTube channel. Go and listen wherever you enjoy your podcast. Trey, glad to have you, buddy. We'll see you soon, man.
Perfect. Thanks again, man.
college wrestling is hard. It's very hard. I figured it out quick. Our first match was against this team, the University of Northern Iowa. And I wrestled this guy, and he was what they call in NCAA wrestling better than me. So we start wrestling, and I got tired. I was just laying there. I couldn't move, and they were all yelling at me. I was like, guys, I agree. This is bad, but we're not gonna fix it tonight. Usually, when I get this tired, I do not get untired for 2 or 3 hours. My coach yelled, "Get up!" I was like, I don't know if you saw. I tried to do that 7 seconds ago, and he didn't want me to. He threw me back down, coach. That's why I'm still down here. Were you not even watching? Then it got worse. The referee, the one guy in the gymnasium charged with my safety, started making fun of me. The referee. He goes, "Are you okay down there, son? Ha 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 ha." He didn't care if I was okay. He was trying to get laughs. And as a comedian, I can tell you, he was good. He had a good show. He did. He killed. They all laughed at me. It was humiliating, and my coach never let me forget that moment, ever. That was my freshman year. If I had one bad practice my senior year, he'd bring it up. "Warren, this reminds me of when you laid down at Northern Iowa." Technically, I was forced down, coach. Laid down! Even if I had a good practice, "Warren, you got after today. Good job. Bunner, you're an embarrassment. You remind me of when Warren laid down at Northern Iowa."
There we go.
Look at this.
Welcome in.
Wow. This is Philly. This is our new dog. She's fine walking on the table.
Right.
I'm a great
get in there.
I'm a great dog owner.
No, I love it.
Well,
No, I
she's
love it.
thirsty. Well, she's thirsty, Mike.
That's a good omen.
Yeah, this is also how Vecchione drinks out of. So Philadelphia, they brought. We've had it happen before. Sometimes they bring some rescue puppies to the venue, and all the crew gets to go hang out with puppies. It's a very cool event. And so we got in there, and I was like, I honestly, when I walked in, I thought it was the woman's dog that was holding it. I didn't know it would be a rescue. They told us it was like a Cocker Spaniel. We've heard English Setter. We've heard a few things. I don't know if we know exactly, but she's the best.
You're gonna work the dog into the schedule, for when we come on the road.
Yes.
Coordinate it with somebody.
Yeah, if I have people that are not dog, I don't know if I'd have it with you because I feel like
I'm a dog person.
Yeah, you're more of a direct. You're gonna say something to everybody about that after.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
How much of a dog person I am.
Our family, we just eat a lot of fast food. Our family text thread, my dad texted, he was like, "I found a way to get a Big Mac cheaper." And he said, "You can order a double cheeseburger and ask for Big Mac sauce." So he goes, "It's cheaper." And they get rid of that third bun, so it's Atkins. That's how you do it. That third bun is the one that you're like, I don't know if I need the third bun. My buddy told me, he's like, "I'm going to lose weight for our 20-year reunion." And that always feels, you're like, why don't you lose it for the people that were in your life every day for the past 20 years? You've made your wife stare at your moose body for 15 years. Why don't you tone it up for her a little bit? He's like, "No, I'll just save it for the people I hate." I'm on the set of Breadwinner, and I wanted to make sure that you knew Mike Vecchione's special Low Income Wife comes out today on the YouTube channel. Mike's the best. Go figure out why the special is called that. It's a very, very funny joke. He's the best. I'm excited that it's out today. Go watch it.
If I could teach any school subject,
It can be anything, so we can make it up.
I would teach history.
Math's out. I'm not good at math.
Experience.
How so?
I'd be a football coach. So what subject do I just want to phone in?
And then I would just teach my own history, and then I would correct all the lies.
Just getting experience, doing a job and getting experience, or
Yeah, I would not be a good teacher because the kids would just run it all over me. So
I'll do calculus, BC calculus, high level.
I would teach experience.
Oh, you would teach experience.
As a class. You know, maybe it would be like just like come and helping me move. You know how many mattresses I've had to move since I used to do it? And I'm really good at it. I know how to get it down places better than most because I did it.
I could teach a Sunday school class maybe.
Challenge the kids, they're going to challenge me. Otherwise, why are we doing this?
You're the worst.
That's what I would do, and then it would be much better, and we would all have, good knowledge.
My idea is a class about ideas. The whole class, you're just coming up with ideas, and I have some of my own. Do you want to hear them?
I don't think of the consequences with everything. Like we have one dog. I would like another dog. My wife does not want another dog because it's a lot. It's a lot to have two dogs because you got to open the back door and let two dogs out. Then you shut it. And now they're out there. You're inside, not dealing with it. But then they want to come back in, and you're like, gotta go let all these dogs back in. You're like, one dog, two, look at all these dogs everywhere.